as people know, as the horrible news and all that, for at least the Fairy Tail fans at least, and probably good news to the people, the haters of the series, the fact that Fairy Tail is ending soon, the fact that we are on its final arc and it could be ending this year to maybe even early 2018. And I've got a little bit more of the clarification and more of the news update for the story, as the fact is, it might be something that we've been dreading for a while with a lot of like manga creators, and it's honestly been a very big consistent thing that's been happening with a lot of ongoing mangakas as of recently. And it's the fact that a lot of ongoing people have started to just randomly end their series and kind of get out of the way. And honestly, it's a little bit like more bringing up to this. I'm bringing this up mainly because now Shonen Magazine is kind of having the same issue that it had with like Shonen Jump, and I'll explain my reasons why. Not only have we got the confirmation that Fairy Tail is going to be ending in Shonen Magazine, also as well, we've had the, like the Yamada and the Seven Witches, which I believe was about 3 to 4 years, like in the making and all that. That finally ended. I believe it ended on the double chapter of Fairy Tail. We've also as well got another popular series ending in there, known as Night in the Area, like which is like a soccer manga, which is was really goddamn popular. And I think it came out around about the same time as Fairy Tail. Like I think it started around about 2006, and it's like it is nuts to like hear about this. That there's like another big like popular thing. I think this is like what up there alongside with Ace of Diamond. It does really popular like in the magazine. We've got Yamada and the Seven Witches. I wouldn't be surprised now looking at Shonen Jump's like what we've seen with their lineup, with the fact that we've had people end their series like saying I'm done, and then we've even got Gintama from like Shonen Jump is finally in, and that guy can continue that series on forever. And I generally think what's happening is the fact that there has been a very big change in maybe how the manga industry works, or maybe like how people are being paid for their manga. I think there might be something with the contracts, if anything. And this is all just wild speculation. So I always say that I'm not going to pretend I know the manga industry that well, but I'm telling there's a little bit of some shady bullshit. The fact that it's like not just like Fairy Tail, not just Gintama, not just like this all these popular manga just happen to be ending, and it's like I find it a little bit too much of a coincidence that it's just a vast majority of them. Even Attack on Titan is ending. Like you can even like argue saying, well, some of these are doing it because of a story stake, some of them just because they've lived their run. Like there's a lot of series, and I've had this conversation and I've had this debate like multiple times on that. I've even done multiple videos where it's like this series is ending, it's getting cancelled. What the fuck? What's going on and all that? And it honestly sounds like there could be two, if there is the reasons that I'm talking about, it is like a couple of speculations and all that I've got, and I'll give like maybe a few reasons. The first reason saying that maybe there is something with their contract, that maybe they're not honestly getting paid enough, which would suck to hear, generally the fact that it's like you just can't like I'm not getting paid enough for this. However, newer contracts actually give you much more, and maybe there's a little bit more leniency. Like there could honestly be a reason for that. The second reason is honestly like, you know, it could be things like where it's just crazy, and the fact is that the guy's worked on the series for over 10 years now. Like there's like it's been over a decade worth of Fairy Tail, and I think maybe like Hiro Mashima is starting to feel like he's been drawing manga consistently, double chapters, and I think the fact is that he's after 10 years of run of Fairy Tail, he feels like I've done a good run. I've done like all I can with Fairy Tail, and that he maybe just want to move on to something new. And that could be the same thing with a lot of other manga creators. Maybe that the fact that they've enjoyed this series, but they've gotten really tired of it. And even as well, like Fairy Tail does pretty well in the rankings. It also does pretty okay in the magazines. I know from like even what my friends like James Andrew, who went to Japan recently, he did say Fairy Tail isn't that much of a huge thing. It's more of the Western market in there, but it still does decent in its like actual magazine rankings, so like the Shonen magazine. But it's the same thing with like Gintama, where Gintama is huge in Japan, absolutely blown up and all that. Like it's not as big as One Piece, but it's very vastly like, you know, like there everywhere and all that, and people love the series. However, the Western market, it tried and it just honestly hasn't got that. And even with there's still a bunch of fans of Gintama when we got like streaming sites like Crunchyroll, it still isn't that much. And even with like kind of like pushing an English stuff, it still hasn't got that much of the Western market grab. So we could have other series and all that announcing that they're going to be ending soon. I know as well the fact that like we've had things like Seven Deadly Sins already said from like near the get get-go that it was only going to have like 3 big arcs, the fact that it was going to be covering it, and the fact that we could be close-ish to wrapping up its second one. We could even see Seven Deadly Sins announcing its final big arc, which could take a couple of years. But if anything, for Fairy Tail's case and all that, as I wasn't able to more clarify on my first video about the ending, I think it's also as well the fact that we could still have about 6 months to 3 months. Like, Hero's pacing and all that has always been, like, pretty fast and all that. This is the one exception out of the rule, since this is his longest arc that he's done. So I think, if anything and all that, we could even have, like, all of this year to maybe a slightly early bit of next year. It honestly depends how much longer and all that Hiro Mashima wants to keep all these fights going and wants to conclude the entire series. So it could honestly go up to there. But it's just like, I honestly think if the fact that, you know, and I know a lot of people call me crazy and you're like, oh, you're upset that one of your series is going on that. I've seen so, like, especially with, like, kind of like this recent of, like, the early parts of this year and the recent part of, like, you know, of Miller, like 2016 and around that part, that I've seen so many manga at this point in the series just saying, we're ending, final arc, let's go. We've got Maki even ending as well. Like, that's being taken out and all that, and that's insanely popular as well. It's just like, I've seen everything from Naruto to Bleach to like Fairy Tail to Gintama, all these big shonen magazines while Magi's leading it. Like, it's nuts, and I generally think that maybe it could be one of the reasons that I've maybe explained, and I really hope it's the case of that they're just like, if anything, they're just tired and they're like, you know what, I want to do something new. I want to do something more like, you know, my art skills while I still got them. And I hope it isn't because we're not hardly getting paid for this like that, and the new contracts are going to be that, and it sucks, and I really hope that's not the case and all that, but I wanted to at least do a video on this and talking about it, and I kind of clarify, as a lot of people kind of wanted me to talk about what the fuck is going on, why is it ending, we still got this to go, and since we've seen a lot of series end recently, and they said, we've got 5 chapters left, and it's like, you know, going that, and I don't think Fairy Tail's going to have that, but I still think and all that, we could have 6 months left of the series, so you don't be surprised and all that, guys, and all that, if like 6 months, I'll be doing the final chapter of Fairy Tail. But I'm curious to see what you guys think in the comment section down below, and I wanted to like just get this out there because I'm curious to see what you guys are gonna think in the comment section. But you know, regardless of what, I'm gonna send Fairy Tail regardless and all that. I'm gonna send it with a salute, and I'm gonna like miss it all the same and all that, regardless if its ending and all that has been questionable like this the last arc has been, which is another video I want to talk about, is the final arc as well, but we'll get into that another time. But that is all from me. Thank you as always, and I'll see you guys though.